The U.S. Coast Guard has a new mission along the border. Dozens of Coast Guard vessels have started patrolling the Rio Grande. The surge comes shortly after signs went up on buoys in the river, warning that the Rio Grande is now a military zone. It's part of a new national defense area announced a couple of months ago. These are significant changes, and joining us now to break it all down is Sandra Sanchez from Border Report. Welcome.
Thanks for having me, Josh.
So first off, what does it mean to declare the Rio Grande a military zone?
Yeah, it's a national defense area. 250 miles of the Rio Grande, that's in the entire Hidalgo and Cameron counties, are a military zone, part of actually Joint Base San Antonio. So what it means is if someone crosses into that land, you could face additional charges. And if someone is undocumented coming from Mexico, they could face even more charges. We have been monitoring the court systems, and so far those extra charges have not been levied, but just anyone crossing into this zone could face 6 months in prison, $100,000 fine. I mean, it really ups the ante down there.
You also found that there will be more buoy barriers on the Rio Grande. We've talked a lot about those lately. What's happening there?
Yeah, big news this week. Actually, Customs and Border Protection very quietly placed on their website earlier this week that they are building, we knew, a smart wall system. We knew that we're having 80 miles of border buoys put up in the Rio Grande, 17 miles in Cameron County, 40 miles near Eagle Pass, 23 miles near Del Rio, but they never said what it was going to be made of. Now we know they are individualized giant flotation devices, kind of like the border buoys that Governor Abbott put up, only he only put up a 1,000-foot long string for $1 million. The one in Cameron County is 17 miles long, $96 million. So, yeah, a lot of questions. Is it going to be continuous because the river has oxbows and, is always meandering? We don't know the answers to these questions. Also, the smart wall system is going to have a lot of technology, cameras, special roads, special audio. So it's not just buoys, but they could either be 4 feet wide or 6 feet wide in diameter. And it does raise a lot of questions.
Yeah, a big change there. You've also been covering the new Coast Guard operations on the Rio Grande. What are they doing there, and why is this happening now?
Yeah, it's called Operation Riverwall. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem, she's really trying to improve the profile, up the profile of the Coast Guard, which is actually under the Department of Homeland Security. And under Riverwall, they are going to surge 100 Coast Guard boats. They've already started. They announced this one night, and the next morning I was out on the shore catching what appeared to be a flotilla. I caught 7 boats in a row. There was some border patrol there. Hundreds of personnel are surged to the area. And this is just to start with 100 boats. Normally we think of the Coast Guard on the Gulf. We don't really think of them so much on the river, but recently I had a ride along and a fly along with them, and they're real, and it was on the river and over the Gulf, but they're really trying to show that they have, she says, these maritime border security super skills, and she wants to use them to defend the border.
So we know that the Coast Guard officials are being paid during the government shutdown. What about other border security law enforcement?
There's been so much back and forth about that. This past week, Congressman Henry Cuellar, he is a Democrat who was at one point the ranking member of the House Homeland Security Appropriations Subcommittee. He told me that any border security federal officer on the front lines is getting paid. My colleague in San Diego says he's been told by some Border Patrol agents they're actually not getting paid. But Cuellar says that they are paying those who are actively working to secure the border. This could include marshals, this could include rangers, this could include Border Patrol, this could include Customs and Border Protection officers, ICE officers. So, money has been set aside. We know Coast Guard is being paid. We know the military are being paid.
Really shows the financial priority of this administration.
It does.
Thank you very much, Sandra Sanchez from the Border Report.
Thank you.
The stalemate over the shutdown continues in Washington, but it could soon hit home for millions of Texans.
I don't know what to do because we're already struggling. We are.
Funding that helps people buy food is at risk. We look at what's at stake.